What's up, guys? My name is JayThePizzaGuy, and welcome to another episode of 10 in 10, the series that explains 10 items of a certain subject in 10 minutes or less. If you enjoy this episode, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos every other week. So, let's get to it. On March 9th, 1916, famed Mexican revolutionary Pancho Villa ordered 500 of his men to raid the small town of Columbus, New Mexico. This was a retaliation attack for an apparent weapons-related double-cross. More than 100 of Pancho's men and 16 Americans were killed during and after the raid. Another 4 men, identified as Villistas, were executed by hanging. On July 3rd, 1929, a headless body was discovered at the home of Arthur Manby, located in Taos, New Mexico. Arthur was known as one of the most hated land speculators in New Mexico. So, was the body his, or was it of an innocent bystander's? Being that the state declined spending money for an investigation, we'll never know. Known as one of the greatest mysteries of the Old West, the story was eventually turned into a book by Frank Waters. November 8th, 1971. During a traffic stop, state police officer Robert Rosenblum was shot and killed. Occurring roughly 8 miles west of Albuquerque on I-40, 3 men were deemed suspects and eluded police for nearly 2 weeks. The 3 then hijacked TWA Flight 106 from the Albuquerque International Sunport and escaped to Cuba. Once they arrived, the trio were arrested by Cuban authorities, but later released. Of the suspects, Ralph Goodwin died in 1973, and the others, Charles Hill and Michael Finney, remained in Cuba to avoid murder and hijacking charges in the U.S. In 1974, 4 members of the Vagos motorcycle gang were convicted of the murder and mutilation of William Felton, who was a student at UNM. These 4 members, Richard Greer, Ronald Kine, Clarence Smith, and Thomas Gladish, were on death row for nearly 17 months. That is until Kerry Rodney Lee, who was an informant for the DEA, came forward and confessed to the murder. Active from the 1970s until 1981, Thomas Wayne Crump was serving life in prison for the murder of his second wife, a cab driver, and a tourist from Minnesota when he confessed to a plethora of other crimes. In October of 1980, Crump murdered Jody Jamison, 25, who worked for a local escort service. She was taken to a rundown motel, strangled with a torn pillowcase, and left in the bathtub. In addition, Crump confessed to 7 other murders and an unknown number of assaults, kidnappings, and robberies. In 1981, federally protected witness Marion Albert Pruett, aka Mad Dog Pruett, bludgeoned his wife, Pamela Sue Barker, to death and set her body ablaze. In addition, Pruett went on to kill 2 store clerks in Colorado, a loan clerk in Mississippi, and a convenience store employee, Bobby Jean Robertson, in Fort Smith, Arkansas. He received life sentences for 4 of the 5 murders and was executed in 1999 for the murder of Robertson. On January 6, 1991, Ricky Abeyta, 29, shot and killed 2 police officers, his girlfriend Ignacita Sandoval, her 19-year-old daughter Mary Ellen's 6-month-old son, the baby's father, and another woman. The 2 police officers that were shot had arrived to serve Abeyta a restraining order that had been requested by Ignacita. After committing the murders, Abeyta escaped into the hills of Chimayo, beginning an intense foot and helicopter manhunt. After being captured, he was convicted of the murders and was sentenced to 146 years behind bars. In 1996, 3 employees of a Northeast Heights Hollywood Video in Albuquerque were killed during an armed robbery. The grandparents of one of the employees were kidnapped and later executed in the Sandia Mountains. It was found that Shane Harrison and his girlfriend Esther Beckley were behind the murders and were convicted. Shane was convicted of killing the grandparents and was sentenced to 258 years behind bars. Esther was convicted of the robbery of the Hollywood Video and the related murders. She was sentenced to 2 life sentences plus 35.5 years behind bars. On the 4th of July 2004, Cody Posey had allegedly snapped from years of abuse and killed his father, stepmother, and stepsister. On that day, after being slapped in the face by his father, Cody took a gun from his stepsister's saddlebag and went in the house. He first shot his stepmother, Pancho Posey, twice in the head. His father, hearing the shots, came inside and was gunned down. Next, he pointed the weapon at his stepsister and killed her in fear that she'd be the one to turn him in. He then dragged the bodies outside and buried them in a shallow pile of manure. Cody was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of voluntary manslaughter. He was released from prison in October of 2010. On the night of January 19, 2013, police visited a home in the South Valley of Albuquerque, New Mexico. There, they had discovered 5 people who had died from apparent gunshot wounds. According to police, Nehemiah, who was 15 at the time, shot a woman and 3 children with a .22 caliber rifle. A man was also shot and killed with an AR-15 style rifle. Nehemiah's younger brother awoke to him saying that he had shot their mother. According to Nehemiah, his brother didn't initially believe him, but after seeing the murder scene, he became distraught. Nehemiah proceeded to shoot him as well as his 2 younger sisters. When his father returned home at 5 a.m., Nehemiah shot him multiple times with an AR-15 style rifle. Initially sentenced as a juvenile, Nehemiah was to be held at a mental health facility until age 21. However, recent case activity has created uncertainty if he will be charged as an adult. If so, he faces more than 120 years behind bars. As of the release of this video, that decision is still in limbo. If you guys enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat for the latest news about the channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.